Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live on Mojo 50 Radio. You can find us anywhere that you can find podcasts that you enjoy, but if you'd like to listen to us live, we are right here on iHeartRadio's Mojo 50 Radio app. You can also find us on the Facebook page over on Mojo 50 Radio there, or you can go to the YouTube page where it is ours at DOAE Show. We are live there as well. You can find us on the Twitters at DOAE Show and at Steven Airey. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today or I See What You Did There, because I did see what you did there. We're also on the MeWe's. You can chat with us there over on any of those platforms. Converse. We love it. It is wonderful times, and we want to talk to you as I talk to you, and I want you to talk back because I like having a conversation. I don't like this monologuing crap. It's just not me. But before we get started, as always, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Nostalgia. I mean, waffles. Who doesn't love waffles, right? Nostalgia Waffles Sampler Pack is now 10% off if you use the promo code MOJO10. It makes 80 waffles, and they are each 75% wild rice grain. They're hearty, they're healthy, and they're guilt-free waffles. Also gluten-free. And they're so delicious, your family won't even suspect that you're doing something good for them. Wild rice is a United States only native grain. It's gluten and sodium and fat and cholesterol free. It's high in protein, zinc, potassium, and trace minerals. One serving meets your daily whole grain needs. If you have diabetes, wild rice is also a diabetic-friendly food. It's amazing and it's awesome, and you need to try it out. So go over to mojowildrice.com. mojowildrice.com. Go get the waffle sampler pack. It's now 10% off when you use the promo code MOJO10. Use the promo code MOJO10 over at mojowildrice.com. Go get some wonderful, wonderful nostalgia from the woods of Minnesota. Also, don't forget to get those whipped honeys because they're amazing. Oh. All right. Starting off the show, I wanted to talk about a very solemn story. And to get the mood right, I wanted to have some music, and I wanted to get the solemn story going. So please, bear with me. My girlfriend and I recently found out that she's pregnant. I told her I'd support her and the baby and secretly started saving for an engagement ring. She said she thought I would have wanted to get an abortion. I didn't, at least at first. She was excited and started planning a nursery. It took me 2 months to save up, but I finally got on knee and popped the question. She cried and said yes, and I'm still scared about being a dad, but I've got a good job, and so does she, and we'll make a great family, just the three of us. Last week, though, we went in for a checkup. We decided to get the full fetal blood work done. Everyone's doing it. The doctor said there's a little risk for the fetus, but a better safe than sorry, right? And I'm sure everything will be fine, and we'll learn the sex of the baby, and I'll really hope it's a boy. Oh, we decided to make everything official with a trip to the courthouse, and we're married now, so, well, we got the blood work results back. And now there's good news and there's bad. See, good news, it's a boy and he's healthy. The bad news is, he's gay. I didn't even know there was a blood test for that now, but I guess it's new. They found the genes that caused homosexuality and they test for them now. Look, I'm a really tolerant person, but this has made me think hard. I don't know how to feel about trying to raise a gay son. Will I be able to relate to him? Won't his life be super hard? I know things are getting better for gay people, but it seems to me that being gay is really hard in the South where we live. gay people aren't really accepted here like all the other parts of the country yet. This really started to weigh on my mind, so I did some research. Suicide attempts are significantly higher among gay teens, 5 times more likely. Gay kids are 5 times more likely than heterosexual youth to end up hospitalized as a result. More than 70%. Call the Trevor Lifeline and target suicide prevention hotlines. They come from the south and the central regions of the country, right where I live. Another study found that any kind of victimization at school leads to much higher risk of substance abuse. Studies in progressive states like Vermont and Massachusetts have found that for gays and bisexual boys, rates of victimization are nearly 5 times the amount of straight kids. More disturbingly, the victimization coincides with a host of risky behaviors, from cigarettes to alcohol abuse and way up to the hard drugs like cocaine and heroin. Gay kids are way more likely to do all of those things than the similarly persecuted straight kids. On top of that, in every risk study, in every risk factor but cigarette use, gay and bisexual boys are at a much greater risk than girls. I can't imagine what things here in the South may be like. I remember being accused of being gay in school. It was awful. I don't know. If we could send our child to public school, we would need to find and pay for progressive private school, but if we could afford it, I guess we could homeschool, but this is not at all how we wanted our future. We both have good jobs and love, but I didn't see how we could afford a private school and which ones would give up our jobs to homeschool our son. Which ones? So my wife and I talked, and we decided we aren't ready to raise a gay child. It isn't fair to raise a gay child in our area. It would be so hard on our son to live here. And I didn't think either of us could handle it if he killed himself. My wife told one of her friends that we were going to have an abortion because we didn't feel equipped to deal with raising a gay child. I don't hate gay people. I can't bring a child into this world who would have to have such hard times. I mean, we do the same thing of fetus with Down syndrome, or so would about 67% of others if they found themselves in this situation. Even Richard Dawkins tweets that it would be immoral to have a child who would suffer because of his genetics. Many people believe that it's immoral to bring a child into this world who is going to suffer. Ending the pregnancy is better for everyone, and it seems like an obvious choice. It seems so obvious. That was a story from The Federalist. Thankfully, it was a satirical piece, so no worries, no problems, guys. It was satire. It is not real. It is not real. It is there to prove a point. It is there to prove a very, very specific point. Sorry if I freaked you out there, Erica. People will kill their children at the drop of a hat for any reason, given enough pressure from the external populace. Yes, this was a stupid story. It was satire about a man who found out that his son was going to be gay when he grew up because of genetic testing. But the point of this story is simple. Just because it's going to be difficult for a child doesn't mean it is right to kill that child yourself. Who you bring into this world and what you bring into this world is more about the love that you have for the life. Well, Dan, I hope I wowed you already with the story and the drama, but if I haven't, I'm very sorry. Moving right along, after 5 months in the ICU, the world's tiniest baby boy has left the hospital. That's right, in Tokyo, a woman gave birth about 5 months ago to a baby boy in her 24th week of pregnancy. They had to do an emergency C-section to make sure that both mom and son were alive and stayed alive, and the child was in the NICU for the last 5 months. When he was born, he was 9.4 ounces. He was the first baby born. He was the smallest baby ever born, ever. 24 weeks. 24 weeks. He is healthy now. He is 7 pounds. He is at his, obviously past his normal gestation period, and it took him a little longer to get there, but that's because he wasn't able to grow inside of his mother's womb. Dr. Takashi Arimitsu, who treated the baby, told CNN, which is kind of funny because this is from a Fox affiliate, told CNN that when the infant was born, he needed a ventilator and a respirator support and an umbilical cord catheter for infusion therapy. That way they could continue to feed him nutrients and everything else. The infant weight breaks the previous record of a German boy weighing 9.67 ounces in 2009. Since 1936, there have been 23 babies who survived preterm birth worldwide after weighing under 10.5 ounces. 19 of these babies are females, with the smallest girl weighing 8.8 ounces. That one being in Germany in 2015. According to the university studies, University of Iowa's tiniest baby registry, that is, sorry. An average baby weight is about 7.28 ounces, according to the World Health Organization. Preterm births causes are not common in Japan, thankfully. The rate of infants' low birth weight is almost 10% in Japan. This is from Arimatsu. After staying in the neonatal ICU for 5 months, the baby's weight increased to 7.1 pounds. He is now healthy and was discharged on February 20th. They aren't saying that he has any issues. Actually, they're saying he is a happy, healthy baby boy. Not a problem at all. He seems to be doing just fine now. Everything's finally grown in and grown through. Everything's gone to the place where it should, and he has developed into a normal baby. This is at 24 weeks. A child born at 24 weeks was able to survive long enough to get out of the hospital and is healthy, happy, and going to his mom. I tied those two stories together because one was a satire about abortion. And this story, if you don't understand it, this story is about a child who was at the same time frame as most late-term abortions. He was at the same time frame as late-term abortions. He was able to be born. Yes, it was a C-section. No, Kevin, it wasn't a clump of cells. It actually looked like a child when it came out of the mother's womb. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that spectacular? A child was born at 24 weeks. And now the child is going home. Only after 5 months of being in the ICU. I don't know. I don't know how a random tumor magically grew into a baby boar after being excised from his mother. I have no idea, but apparently it happened. Sorry, James, I don't mean to bring back flashbacks for you. I apologize. But it's a wonderful story that I wanted to bring up because, well, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. You know what else makes perfect sense? Tar River Arms. Guys, go to traguns.com. traguns.com. Tell them Steven over Mojo sent you. See, Tar River Arms is America's first virtual gun store. They're making it easier and more comfortable than ever to purchase your firearms online. They've modernized the firearm sales to accommodate for the online generation. And those who prefer brick and mortar experiences, through their 3D experience and setup, you can inspect the gun at every single angle. They have weekly specials that will eliminate shipping and brokerage fees. And they have great guns at some great prices with great service. Kurt over there is a veteran, so it's veteran-owned and operated. And his cell phone is right there at the customer service line. You can call him anytime you would like. Layaway and consignment options are available on the website now. Go to traguns.com. You have absolutely no reason at all to not go and check them out. traguns.com. Tell them Steven over Mojo sent you. See how that helps you out. It'd be amazing. All right, so the state of Iowa is passing legislation. State of Iowa is passing some legislation that nobody wants. Okay? Here's what I mean. Vaccine industry is going to partner with the police and the school system in Iowa to mandate quarterly health and wellness checks of children who are not currently enrolled in public or private schools. Going from the article over on this is originally the article is from Natural News, so mind the terminology. After the whole World Health Organization named vaccine hesitancy a global health threat in 2019, vaccine compliance has become a top priority for every government that is run by Big Pharma. FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb has called on the state to limit vaccine exemptions and strip parents of their rights. The war to achieve maximum vaccine compliance is moving into a new, very bold territory. See, the vaccine state of Iowa is now threatening to target homeschool families. Many homeschool families do not follow the CDC full vaccine schedule, and some families opt out of the schedule completely. Iowa State Representative Mary Masher has proposed a piece of legislation that would target them and require homeschool families to submit proof that their child has vaccination records of the state, while requiring that the family submit a quarterly health and wellness safety check, which may be conducted by officials of the Health and Human Services Department and accompanied by law enforcement individuals. That's right. Johnny Law is coming to your house to make sure that you aren't abusing your children. The bill itself, let me see, HF 272 says this in the explanation section. This bill requires the parents, guardians, or legal custodians who place a child in independent private instruction or private instruction to submit the same reports to the school district of residence that is required for a child placed in a competent private instruction, and requires school districts to conduct quarterly home visits to check on the health and the safety of children placed under independent private instruction and other private instruction. The parents, guardians, or legal custodians placing a child under independent private instruction or, quote, private instruction, meaning homeschool, must, by September 1st of the academic year, furnish to the school district a residence report that includes the name and the age of the child, the period time in which the child has been or will be in private instruction for the year, and the outlines of the course study, which means you have to turn over basically everything to the state. The state is now requiring that you turn all information over to them. Along with that, they're going to do home visits. The home visits shall take place in the child's residence with the consent of parent. And an interview or observation of the child may be conducted. If permission to enter the home to interview or observe the child is refused, the juvenile court or district court, upon a showing of probable cause, may authorize a person making the home visit to enter the home and interview and observe the child by force. The superintendent of the school district shall designate a person to carry out the duties assigned to the school district. The person designated shall be a mandatory reporter of child abuse, the Department of Education, in collaboration with all the rest of the junk. So if you didn't hear that right, in the state of Iowa, it is basically going to be illegal to homeschool your children without the direct supervision of the state. If you do not have the approval and direct supervision of the state, then I'm sorry, but you won't be able to teach your children anymore. And that bothers me quite a bit. Texas Yankee over on the Twitter says, what I learned today at DOA Show at Steven Airey feels like we're listening to Masterpiece Theater. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Very happy about that. I'm glad you liked it. Dan Maynard over on the Facebook, this is overreach by the government. This is why we need to get conservatives in office at the local level. Yes, that is very true. We do need to get conservatives in office at the local level, but not just conservatives. Because you say conservative, but when most people say conservative, they mean Republican. And that's not really what we need. What we need is somebody who's a constitutionalist, somebody who understands that anything going on has to be by the Constitution and the Constitution alone. And if it isn't, then they have to say no to it. Oh my goodness. Kevin over on the Facebook, next thing they'll say is that you're abusing your child by voting for Donald Trump, being against abortion and being pro-Second Amendment. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. It is probably going to happen just like that. Socialism, people, socialism. Nicole, I would agree. It is socialism. Dan says, yes, that's exactly what I meant. 100% Steve. Yes, exactly. That's the point, right? That's the exact point. It all comes down to control and money. That is correct, Jonathan. It does come down to control and money. There's nothing else that they want more than control and money. Specifically, your money, because they want to be able to use it when they need it. It's like J.G. Wentworth, but for socialists. Jeremy Hansen, Canada just ruled that a 14-year-old can take testosterone even though the parents said no. Now Iowa won't let you homeschool. This movement can go to hell. We need a small government pro-constitution patriot. Yes, yes we do, and I'm sorry to say it, but Trump is not a small government person. He's a very big government person. But what you need is you need each state individually to go through and evaluate their people and make sure that they are small government. If they're not small government, then they need to be kicked out as soon as possible. Any way, shape, or form, any possibility that you can do that, get them out of there, because if not, it's going to be your funeral and the rest of ours. All right, folks, that sound right there means that it's time for a commercial break, so I will take one. Be right back. Erica, sorry to scare you there on that first story. Did it sound good at least? Did it sound good? I know you said, now finally get to see the drama kid, Steven, but, did it sound good at least? Did it sound like it was on point? Did I make it sound at least semi-real? That's all I want. Did it sound semi-real? That's all I want to know. It's not about a person or the party. Yeah, that's right. It's not about people or the party. It's about finding people. It is about people, technically, but it's only about finding people who are principled and will stand by those principles. That's all. Finding people who will actually stand by principles. And that's hard to do. You were thinking that the UK... You thought it was a UK story. Oh. It does sound like something that would happen in the UK. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Let me see here what's going on. Oh, thanks, Nicole. Thank you. You know how to butter me up. Very nice of you. Let's see here. Good. I'm glad you guys are rolling through there. Jeremy Hansen getting some love. Lovely. Lovely. All right, we're coming back here in a second. And we're back. You're listening to Defenders Live on Mojo 50 Radio. Live free. And yes, I meant to put that in there. Have you guys been doing the Doc Thompson Health Challenge? Have you? Have you? You haven't, have you? It was created by Brad Staggs to help improve his health. You see, created a challenge that Doc Thompson would be proud of and would support. That's why they're calling it the Doc Thompson Health Challenge. The challenge brings the Mojo 50 community together for a common cause, to heal, to survive, and to thrive. It's a 90-day challenge to make a healthier lifestyle choices. The challenge starts on Monday, March 4th. Monday, March 4th. It's hosted by Gwen Rich over on The Rich Solution. The health advocates and founders of The Rich Solution. You can find it at therichsolution.com. There are 8 obstacles everyone needs to conquer for optimal health. Diet, mental attitude, exercise, sleep, stress, environment, toxins, community, and emotional health. Go to therichsolution.com, therichsolution.com. Go find the Doc Thompson Health Challenge. Get started today. It'd be amazing for you. I'm certain of it. Erica on the Facebook. Jeremy has all the lady viewers. Steven, did you know? No, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know who has what viewers. Jeremy has like 64% females apparently. That's fine. I actually on the Facebook page it's about right for me as well. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no idea. But that's okay. YouTube's taken some drastic steps. YouTube has some drastic steps in place. YouTube, you know that one place that likes to, take conservative causes and crush them. Make sure to deplatform and cut all the money out of and all the funding from pretty much every video that comes out that's even slightly conservative. Yeah, that group, YouTube, yeah, those ones. You see, apparently there is a huge pedophile controversy resulting over advertisers leaving the site a lot. Sorry. Over on the MeWe page, James. I'll never be able to outrun a train at Steven Airey, so I'm not trying the Doc the Doc Health Challenge. Ouch. Ouch. That's right, Jonathan Momo was okay with them. But pedophiles. Pedophiles is only bad because it has screwed up their advertising. You see, the online video platform YouTube is taking drastic steps after apparently there have been reports that pedophiles have been using comment sections to target children, caused advertisers to abandon the site like crazy. According to ARS, or Ars Technica, some videos hosted on the website were discovered to contain highly questionable and predatory images of children that pedophiles were liking and linking to each other. The, quote, wormhole into pedophilia ring was described by YouTuber Matt Watson on his YouTube video channel. Quote, the YouTube's recommended algorithm is facilitating pedophiles' ability to connect with each other, trade contact info, and link to actual child pornography in the comments. He said, quote, I can't consistently get access to it from vanilla, which means, regular, normal stuff. Never before used YouTube accounts. Or he says, I can consistently get access from a vanilla, never before used YouTube account via innocuous videos in less than 10 minutes. And sometimes less than 5 clicks. He explained advertisers began to leave the popular video platform, leading YouTube to shut down comments on millions of accounts. The company has also permanently banned comments from channels that were caught with a history of predatory comments. Based on the reviews and historical comments, a small number of channels have identified as having high level of risk for predatory comments and will not be able to re-enable comments ever, even with moderation. Quote, the owners of these channels will be notified of the actions, it concluded. YouTube has also been criticized by parents who've discovered the videos meant to be viewed by children that had secret messages encouraging suicide. That's the Momo challenge. YouTube has since denied the suicide things. Because they seem to think that they can't find it in their algorithms. So they're not doing anything about that. But they're at least doing something about the pedophile ring because it's affecting their cash flow. You see, telling kids to commit suicide with little 2-minute videos that get hacked and cut into, that's not a problem because nobody actually can point it out and prove that they did it on purpose. But in the comments section, having a bunch of people linking to child pornography got their money screwed up. So because their money got screwed up, now, because their money was screwed up, now they're actually going to do something about it. While I'm not saying it's a bad thing for them to go after the child pornography people, because it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's actually a great thing. They need to, that is one place where I would say, yeah, shut them the hell down as quickly as you possibly can. You are a private business that is breaking all levels of your guidelines and all levels of public guidelines in general. Cut it down. But on the second note, claiming that your algorithms cannot find all of these other videos that are, convincing children to start hurting themselves and commit suicide in ways, maybe you need to work on that. Maybe, just maybe, you need to look at your entire site setup, the entire portion of YouTube Kids, and verify all the videos that actually go through their section. You'll ping my show anytime I use a well-known song for more than 10 seconds, but you can't find somebody using or embedding into these videos suicidal tendencies and thoughts and actions? Come on. Come on. You're pulling my leg here. You're just crazy. So you don't like pedophiles and you don't like conservative content, but suicide is okay. All right. Okay, YouTube. I get you. Just saying. I get you. A Pasco woman is suing over an emotional support dog attack in the Portland airport. You know, Portland's becoming a lot like Florida recently. You're finding a ton of crap. A ton of crap and stupid people and crazies that have been, I don't know, how they're getting through this. Like, how are you this stupid? Actually, Dan, they're not hackers extraordinaire. They hack into old accounts that have been inactive for a while, and they use those. They use old accounts that are easily hackable. All you have to do is gain access to another person's account, and you got it. So, just saying. Back to this Portland story. Portland, Oregon, Pasco County. A Pasco woman is seeking $1.1 million in damages on behalf of her daughter who was bitten by a woman's, quote, emotional support dog at a Portland International Airport. Myrna Gonzalez filed a lawsuit on Monday. The suit alleged that a pit bull attacked her 5-year-old daughter, Gabriela, inside the airport on December 18th. Gonzalez told KAPP KVW she and her family were waiting by the gate to board a flight to Texas to visit family for Christmas when the dog attacked. She said that her daughter asked the dog's owner, Michelle Brannon, if the dog bites, and then received permission to touch the dog before the incident. Quote, "There was just blood everywhere," said Gonzalez, adding that that seeing her daughter's injuries were, quote, horrifying. Gonzalez said that she rushed her daughter to the hospital where she had to undergo facial reconstructive surgery. The lawsuit says Brannon, quote, should have known that taking her pit bull to the airport created an unreasonable risk of harm to the public. Now, I need to stop here and I need to talk to you guys. A pit bull is not a dangerous dog. It is a dog that is very protective. It is a dog that is very loyal. And it is a dog that is easily trained if done properly. Now, what I will say that is bad owner. Bad owner. That's what this boils down to. And she deserves to lose all of her money to this lady. The lawsuit also alleges that the Port of Portland and Alaska Airlines allowed Brannon to keep her, quote, dangerous emotional support animal unsecured inside of the airport. Karma Simons, spokeswoman for the Port of Portland, said all animals except service dogs must be kept in pet carriers when they're inside of the airport, except when they're using pet relief areas. Emotional support animals are not service animals. Simon said that the dog's owner was issued a $250 citation for failing to crate her dog. According to the Alaska Airlines website, emotional support animals are allowed on the planes without a container as long as they remain on a leash. No. According to the Chad Stavely, Gonzalez's attorney, he says that the Port of Portland and Alaskan Airlines knew that the dog owner was not abiding by the airport's rules. Quote, they did not. They did nothing to protect the public and got the girl hurt, so we're going to hold them accountable. The Port of Portland, Alaska Airlines, and the dog owner are listed as defendants on the lawsuit. The suit seeking $100,000 in damages for Gabriela's past and future medical expenses, and another $1 million for future pain and suffering. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. Now, this woman had a pit bull. The pit bull is not actually an emotional support animal. It is not a service dog. It is at no way an animal that you can say and look at and say, for sure, it is an okay dog to have around a bunch of people in a big open area where they're constantly maneuvering. There's no training that's been processed. Actually, the only thing that she had was a note from her therapist. That's the only thing she had, was a note from her therapist saying that she should keep her dog. That's it. Beyond that, she had absolutely nothing. She had no training. She had no setup. She probably didn't even learn how to... she barely had this dog potty trained, I'm sure. And for this woman to go onto a plane to an airport and to say that, oh, this is my emotional support animal. I can't just leave it in a crate. I have to have it with me at all times. No. If you're going to have an emotional support animal, first off, it needs to be able to be trainable. That means it can't be a snake or an ostrich or an emu or any other stupid crap that you can think up. This is my emotional support goldfish, Goldie. Nope, sorry. If you accidentally break it, break the jar that it's in, it's too bad. No, none of that works. It has to be an animal that is trainable. No skunks. That's right, Racky. No skunks. Can't have that either. It has to be mild-mannered. It has to be easily contained. And it has to be trained before you take it on those extreme journeys, such as being inside of an airplane with a whole bunch of other people and excitable children. I'm sorry, Donna, you do not need your emotional support ferret. It is not available. Ferrets are untrainable. Cannot happen. And they stink. They smell like mothballs and poop. It's terrible. That's right. Not all dogs are trainable. Cats aren't trainable. Not many cats are trainable either. I mean, I would love to have an emotional support honey badger there, Erica, because that's all it would do, is growl at other people and make sure that I would never get bothered. But at the same point in time, if it accidentally hurts somebody, I would be left with liability. The girl was badly damaged. Like, her lip was basically completely clawed open. Her eye was almost gouged out. Like, it just missed her actual eye. She has a huge puncture wound underneath her eye. And a bunch of other scraps and scrapes. Little girl. Just a little girl. Wanting to pet a dog that was at the airport. And this woman, being an idiot, thought that it was okay. Well, it's not okay. You know what else is not okay? Your cell phone company funding liberal gun grabbers. Patriot Mobile is America's only conservative cell phone company, and it's doing the exact opposite. If you are fed up with the disgusting policies like the New York abortion law, Bloomberg gun control plans, or the stalemate of border policies, make the simple switch to Patriot Mobile. Join thousands of Americans today who are using Patriot Mobile and get reliable nationwide coverage, and watch your hard-earned dollars fight for the First and Second Amendment rights, border security, and the sanctity of life. Veteran-led Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every bill to conservative causes like the Heritage Foundation, the NRA, the Susan B. Anthony List, and so much more. Switching to Patriot Mobile is easy, and their unlimited talk and text plans start as low as $20 a month. Need more motivation? That's cool. Use the promo code DOC when you call 1-800-8-PATRIOT or visit them at patriotmobile.com/doc, and you get up to 2 activation fees waived on the spot. Patriot Mobile. Enough is enough. Join the fight today. 1-800-8-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/doc. Don't forget, use the promo code DOC. Common sense emotional support animal laws. That's right. Common sense emotional support animal laws. I need common sense laws for the everyday man to make sure that these people don't make stupid mistakes. I don't know why this came up, but Roz over on the Facebook page says, a good woman listens to Mojo 50 while she makes sandwiches. That is true. That is true. Or if we've already had dinner while she's drinking coffee. Because that's what my wife is doing. And the clothes. She just gave me a look because she is actually doing the clothes right now. It's funny. Oh, Jules, what is that? I was bit in the face by a German Shepherd at the age of 5. He grabbed me twice in the face, a quarter inch from my jugular vein, and I would play with him during the day, and at night he was my guard dog. I had no idea. My parents didn't even know. Wow. Wow. So you really loved that dog, did you? Roz says she's drinking. She should be making the coffee. You use Titus too. I get you. But guess what? There's an entire book called Hebrews. I'm going to dig a bell on that one. Sorry, Roz. Gotcha. Gotcha. Speaking of some gotchas, Bernie Sanders has hired an illegal alien to be his press secretary. That's right. You heard me right. Senator Bernie Sanders, new deputy national press secretary, likely won't be eligible to vote in the 2020 election due to what she says is her status as an undocumented immigrant. The hiring of Belencisa, an Arizona leftist activist, was announced on Wednesday evening. Sisa, who says she was brought to this country illegally from Argentina by her parents at the age of 6, is currently protected under the DACA law. Despite her immigration status, Sisa has remained active in liberal politics over the years. In 2016, she worked as a page in the Arizona delegation, the Democratic National Convention, and the Latino outreach for Sanders' 2016 campaign. So she's already had active setup with Bernie Sanders. ICE would work, except for the fact that she's covered under DACA. So we should get him for tax fraud, except for he's never actually had a real job in his life. So I can't say that he's actually frauded taxes, considering he only lives off of taxpayer funding. There, Jeremy. I can't. I don't know if he's actually frauded taxes. Sisa soon lost her fear of participation after what, quote, for someone who is scared of participating in anything and coming out and doing this, it's pretty hard to believe that I'm standing here in the middle of all of it. That's what she said. Right. Look. She's been arrested at least twice for protesting throughout her activist career. As a college senior, by the way, how can you go to college when you are an illegal alien? In 2017, she was jailed for her role in a sit-in outside of Senator Chuck Schumer's office. While in jail, Sisa told reporters that she organized a prison strike. Huh. Just weeks before that, she was arrested for protesting outside of the Senate Hart building. Outside of the Senate Hart office building. Both protests were over immigration reform and demanded that Congress pass the DREAM Act, a bill that would permanently legalize her status as an American. Quote, "She's so brave," Sisa's mother said at the time. Quote, "DACA is expiring every day. Hers is going to expire in 1 year. And what are we going to do when with all of these youth? Congress has to pass the DREAM Act. DREAM Act. No, it doesn't. What Congress has to do is send her back home. And her family. Because her family is illegal and they aren't really covered under DACA. So her family can go back home where they belong. And then in a year, after they've set up a place for her to come back home to, she can go back to them and her family. Sorry to sound so rough. At rough around the edges. But that's the best we can have for you. Thank you for participating, but you did it wrong. Go back home and try again. Take the money that you've earned and the information that you've learned and go and do it legal. Try again, and this time, go stand in line like the rest of the people that need to. Yes, it sucks. I was born here. It sucks for you. Yes. And I'm sorry. I am a meanie. I'm a horrible, horrible meanie-faced person. But it's the only way that we can do this correctly. You have to go back, and you have to stand in line like everybody else and do it right. Because that is respecting our laws. Becoming an activist, getting arrested multiple times for laws that would only benefit you and make you here legally, even though you cheated the system? Yeah, you're right, Roz. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry is more like it. But when you cheat the system like this, then it's no good for anybody. Especially if you cheat the system and then win. Because all that tells people is that there is no real law here. If we're not a nation of laws, then we are a nation of men. And if we are a nation of men, that means over the next generation, everything will change completely, and we will be socialist. Because there will be no truth. There will be nothing to bind us to reality. That's just how it works. Before we get going, did you guys know that Cat Coolers has some coolers? That's right, catcoolers.com. You know, the Caterpillar company? Yeah, they make coolers now, too. They're pretty good. They're rugged. They keep your ice cold for up to 7 days. They're made in the United States. They're customizable. You can put whatever logos you want there. You can put the Defenders logo on there. You can make your own. You can do anything. They come in 4 different colors: white, black, yellow, camouflage, whatever you want. Anything else you want to say or make them, it's all up to you. It's all there. It's everything for you. If you use the promo code Steven over at catcoolers.com, you can get 10% off discount on anything that you buy. 10% off discount on anything you buy if you use the promo code Steven at catcoolers.com. Go get one today. Make sure that for when you actually get out there, when the spring hits and you're actually able to get out tonight and or get out into the daytime and do a little picnicking or do a little yard work or do a little backyard grilling and everything else right before the summer hits, make sure you have cat coolers out there so that you and your family can have some delicious cold beverages all day, every day. All right, before we end, I want to tell you about another story. One little story in Toledo. Toledo, Ohio. Apparently the town has voted to make sure that the Bill of Rights is secured. Yes. The Bill of Rights is going to be secured for Lake Erie. You heard me correct. They did a special election on Tuesday where voters of Toledo said yes to a ballot measure that would amend the city's charter to include the Lake Erie in their Bill of Rights. That would mean that the lake would have all the same constitutional rights as a human being. A lake. We're aborting babies left and right, and yet a lake is going to have constitutional rights by the standards of Toledo in Lake Erie. Had to add that in there. Wanted to let you guys know that that was going on today because, yeah, we can kill babies whenever we want. But don't pollute the lake because the lake has rights. All right, folks. This has been another exciting week. Coming up after this, you do have some Watson Prunier, Battle for Freedom. Check him out. And then also check out Rocky Stucci, because he's amazing. And he's awesome stuff over in the Midnight Hour. And as always, for the Defenders Live, good night, Doc Thompson. We know where you are now. Y'all go home.